think that they above the law, they loot a store, don't get arrested.
2025 is really the year of fatigue. It's when people finally had enough of the woke culture that was forced on them in so many areas for the last 4 years and even longer. There's a phenomenon called black fatigue. We're tired of what certain types of black folks are getting away with in terms of looting, crime, fraud. We've had enough. Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Clarion Call, Reactions and Opinions. You know, Tom Macdonald came out with a new song on Friday, but I was sick last week. I couldn't possibly have done a reaction on Friday, Saturday, or even yesterday. But I'm feeling a little better, and over the weekend I did post a lyric-only version of Tom's song. That's usually my first step when doing a rap song, is to create my own version with my own captions, because I've found over the years that, first of all, the captions that you get are often inaccurate, and secondly, in the process of transcribing and correcting the captions, I get a better understanding of the song. I gotta admit, my first viewing of the song when it came out Friday, I was a little put off by Tom's physical appearance and surroundings. This picture is kind of indicative of him blinged out in a beautiful luxury mansion using a gold telephone. And I thought, what is Tom trying to say here? You know, is he rubbing it in our face about how rich he is? You know, that's not a good look. But then I realized, yes, he's doing that, but he's doing that to his haters. He's saying, it doesn't matter how much you hate me. Look, I've got the good life. You know, you can't touch me. In fact, he said early on that the thing that really made him famous were his haters. He loves his haters because the controversy creates views for his music and brings in money. I'm going to overlook that and focus on the words, because Tom is a wordsmith first and foremost. A lot of the times it gets lost by extravagant appearance, crazy videos, his trolling of people, but he does it in such a well-crafted way that I really do appreciate what Tom does. Even though I'm a few days late, I think there's some important points to be made here. So we'll start it and then I'll chime in.
All my haters got pronouns, green hair, BLM t-shirts, fully vaccinated in a mask, scared to breathe air. All my haters woke, all my haters woke. All my haters woke, all my haters. All my haters like to burn flags, protest, wear drag, no offense. All my haters liberals and they ain't making no sense. All my haters woke, all my haters woke. All my haters woke, all my haters, all my haters, all my haters whack. They afraid of facts, they don't think you worth the air you breathe unless you gay or black. All my haters hang out with Antifa waving rainbow flags. All the dudes who hate me think they pregnant, they just gay and fat. They've been watching CNN and Disney on their televisions, never seen a gym but get Ozempic shots injected in them, blaming us for homophobia and anti-Semitism. Think that if you straight and white and male you should be sent to prison.
Now those last 4 lines there are just amazing as far as the multiple rhymes that he's using. Ozempic injected in him, anti-Semitism, should be in prison. Multiple syllables are being rhymed there, watching television. They really speak to what I'm calling 2025 is really the year of fatigue. It's when people finally had enough of the woke culture that was forced on them in so many areas for the last 4 years and even longer. They finally said enough. We're done with that. We don't believe that males should be competing in high school sports. We do not believe that young people are capable of deciding what gender they should be. Particularly, we're tired of, let's say, there's a phenomenon called black fatigue. We're tired of what certain types of black folks are getting away with in terms of looting, crime, fraud. We've had enough. And if you think that's racist, I would refer you to the Clarion brothers, who are a group of young black men who have been running a series of videos about black fatigue. So black fatigue is not just a bunch of white people that have had it with black people. It's people of all flavors who recognize that there are many, many good black folks in our country who make great contributions. Most of the reactors that I follow are black, and most of them have the same feelings that I do, that, you know, there's a right and there's a wrong in this life. And some folks are not doing it right. I'm going to go back through it one line at a time.
Flags, all the dudes who hate me think they pregnant, they just gay and fat.
So are we tired of the claim that there are more than two genders and that men can get pregnant? Maybe someday in the future, with science advances, we may have men reproducing, but it has never happened in the history of the world. And I'm not sure why they want to make it happen. All those dudes who think they're pregnant, they're just gay and fat. Yes, Tom.
They've been watching CNN and Disney on their televisions. Never seen a gym but get Ozempic shots injected.
This is a really important point. You know, this craze for Ozempic as the cure-all for obesity. No, it's a cure-all for the bottom line of the drug companies is what it is. I have some personal experience with this because I am type 2 diabetic. I did a trial of Ozempic a couple years ago. Luckily, I stopped it after about 3 months because I was having horrible side effects, which are not uncommon, and which the doctors, thinking about the money, don't really understand how bad these side effects can be. And especially the fact that you can stop taking the drug, you'll continue to have those side effects for many, many months, years. They could be permanent damage. And that's never explained to these people when they are prescribed these drugs. Oh, take this. This is the great new wonder drug. This will make you thin again. There's no such thing as a free lunch. If you want to lose weight, there's ways to do it. And it involves controlling the quantity and the quality of what you eat, first and foremost. And then getting exercise and having a healthy lifestyle. You can't just take a person who's grossly overweight and has all those bad habits of eating junk food and not exercising and give them a shot and say, oh, you're going to be all better now. It don't work that way. Never did, never will.
I'm blaming us for homophobia and anti-Semitism.
This is a good point. There's a lot of anti-Semitism on both sides of the aisle right now. It's mainly a leftist phenomenon because in their twisted minds they identify Hamas and the Arabs and the Muslims as being an oppressed group, and therefore whoever is against them is an oppressor. So in the case of Israel and Hamas, they think that Israel is engaged in a genocide and it's all their fault and there was no reason for what they're doing. That's the leftist side of anti-Semitism, which degenerates into hatred of Jews in general, not just hatred of Israel's policies. And now we have a growing trend of what they call the right side anti-Semitism, which is represented by some major influencers who are not only questioning Israeli policy, but seem to be having a problem with the Jews in general. I don't think that's anywhere near a majority of the conservative side. I think most conservatives view Israel as our biggest ally in a very dangerous region and deserving of our support. It's just like everything else. The left blames you for what they are guilty of. So they are guilty of anti-Semitism, but they turn around and say that it's you.
Some think that if you straight and white and male, you should be sent to prison.
Straight, white, and male, that's 3 strikes against you. And if you had to be Christian on top of that, whoa, you should be in a concentration camp. You know, it's amazing if you take a poll of so-called progressives, how strong this opinion might be. Or that people should just be killed, for their beliefs, like Charlie Kirk. First came up during the pandemic when those of us who decided that we didn't really want to try an untested vaccination, which was actually not a vaccine at all, but a genetic therapy that was unproven, untested. When we refused that, oh my God, how could we possibly, we're going to kill Granny and we should all be put in prison camps. That was pretty close to a majority opinion on the left. So once you start thinking that way about your fellow man, you've gone a long way down the road.
All my haters left the center, come in 50 different genders. Members of the woke mob, registered as sex offenders. All my haters woke as hell, probably means they broke as well. I don't need to know them, I can tell. All my haters got pronouns, green hair, BLM t-shirts, fully vaccinated in a mask, scared to breathe air. All my haters woke, all my haters woke. All my haters woke, all my haters. All my haters like to burn flags, protest, wear drag, no offense. All my haters liberals and they ain't making no sense. All my haters woke, all my haters woke. All my haters woke, all my haters, all my haters, all my haters lame, cancel everything. They think men are toxic, but they can't define a woman, ayy. All my haters hate police cause they don't want the city safe. They so triggered all the time, but none of them know how to aim. They think that they above the law, they loot a store, don't get arrested.
So here again, when he goes into the multiple syllable rhymes, this is when he really drives the point home. And it says, they think they're above the law, they loot a store, they don't get arrested. Well, we know who he's talking about there. We've seen the video. This is a black phenomenon for the most part. Yeah, you might occasionally see a white face, but in general, when you see these gangs that come in and loot stores and walk out, without paying, they're black faces. Society cannot survive that type of activity, because what eventually happens is all the stores close because they can't make any money. If they have to make a profit, and if people are stealing all this stuff without paying for it, they're going to go out of business. And unfortunately, not only do they not get arrested, but even if they do get arrested, they're let off with a slap on the hand. And then, they're right back out doing it again because there's no consequences.
They loot a store, don't get arrested. Killing babies, they don't use protection, they just getting pregnant. Only time they win is when they cheat, they rigged elections. Claiming we're privileged so they can say they live in...
Claiming we're privileged so they can say they're living in oppression. That pretty much nails it. I'm a privileged person. I'm not going to deny it. I'm very privileged compared to the average person. But it's a very corrosive thing when people are taught that they live in oppression and there's no way out for them. This is America. There's still a land of opportunity, and there's many, many people who have come from very poor backgrounds and made it to the very top of their fields. It's not really oppression that's holding people back. It's the attitude that you're oppressed and that you have no hope and that you cannot succeed, so why even bother? That's a very dangerous path to go down.
All my haters left the center, come in 50 different genders. Members of the woke mob, registered as sex offenders. All my haters woke as hell, probably means they broke as well. I don't need to know them, I can tell. All my haters got pronouns, green hair, BLM t-shirts, fully vaccinated in a mask, scared to breathe air. All my haters woke, all my haters woke. All my haters woke, all my haters. All my haters like to burn flags, protest, wear drag, no offense. All my haters liberals and they ain't making no sense. All my haters woke, all my haters woke. All my haters woke, all my haters, all my haters, all my haters threaten me, they bluffing. Ain't no guts inside their stomachs, they identify as blueberry muffins. They wanted cops to be defunded, bumping Macklemore, they love them. Swear to God, the one thing they got in common is all my haters got pronouns, green hair, BLM t-shirts, fully vaccinated in a mask, scared to breathe air. All my haters woke, all my haters woke. All my haters woke, all my haters. All my haters like to burn flags, protest, wear drag, no offense. All my haters liberals and they ain't making no sense. All my haters woke, all my haters woke. All my haters woke, all my haters, all my haters, all my...
And of course, Friday, I guess, is the new album coming out, a double album. I'll be ordering mine, for sure. Tom is skating pretty close to the line on this stuff here. I think the Charlie Kirk thing really affected him very strongly. When something like that happens, you have two choices. You can say, oh my God, that could be me next, and you can pull back. Or you can say, hell no, I'm not giving in to that. I'm not giving in to violence and threats. I'm going to go full bore. And Tom is just the type of person that's going to go full bore and not care about, who he's pissing off. Certainly he's going to piss off a lot of people with this one. Some of it is name calling. Some of it is perhaps not the most productive thing. But for the most part, he's talking about real issues that people are tired of, very, very fatigued with. I salute him for not backing down and telling it like it is.